yesterday. I just want to show you, like, this will be double duty. I want to show you how to do this stuff using technology, but then also just kind of reinforce this idea of net area versus total area, right? So let's skip this one. Let's just go to this question, and let's do this one two ways. Let's find the net area with cancellation, right? And then let's find the total area with no cancellation. So everything is where we consider it all to be positive. Okay, finding the net area on this interval is easy. How would I do that? We'll just use technology, because I mean, you guys could do the integrals. That they're not hard, right? You just would multiply that out and make it a polynomial if you wanted to do this, to integrate it, right? Just do the math, so to speak. But how could we do this with technology? And I'm going to go to Desmos, and then I will make sure you know how to do this on your graphing calculators also. Okay, so on Desmos graphing, how would I? Okay, so we can do this as we can make f of x equals, or we can just do an integral of, of that function. So how would I find the net area? So just the regular, not gross area, not total area, but just the area under the curve, f of x on that interval. What would I do in Desmos? Okay, you can go down to the keyboard. You don't have to, though. If you go to functions, you just go down to calculus. Where's calculus? It's got to be on here, right there. And I could hit that, right? And that's going to give me an integral, a definite integral, if I hit that button, okay? The easier way to do it, though, is just to type in int, and then it knows to set up a definite integral, okay? So what goes on the bottom? -2. What goes on the top? 3, okay? What's the integrand? It is, right? X times the quantity x plus 2 times the quantity x minus 3 dx. And look what it does. It tells me, and I can click the fraction button to get an exact answer. So there it is. That's it, right? How about that? Okay, and if I want, isn't that cool? If I want to see the actual area under the curve, I thought it did this too, but maybe not. That's okay. It doesn't have to. That might be harder to do in Desmos and not really worth it. Okay, that's really just the stuff. That's really the stuff that we wanted to do. And I'll take a picture of that for you. Oh, where's my, there we go. Okay, so that is net area. Let's make a note of that here. I'm going to clean this up for your notes just a little bit. Oh, I'm so tricky. You don't even know how tricky I am. So there's net area, right? Okay. Okay, what if I want to do now total area? What would I do?
Would you have to find the zeros because
I do.
the function changes?
I do. And what are the zeros of our function?
0, -2, and 3.
Okay. and we're trying to find the area from -2 to 3. Good. I have to break it up around the zeros, right? And I have to do absolute values. Exactly. So I would have to do this then. Oops, can't do that. So on here, you just have to, you just use you can either go to the keyboard again, but don't. Just use the key above enter, that one, the vertical line, and Desmos knows that's absolute value. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to have to change the limits a little bit, right? I'm going to go from -2 to 0 because that's the only x-intercept between my endpoints of my area, right? Okay. And I'm going to add them up. Plus, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just copy and paste. And now this one's going to go from 0 up to 3. Okay. And look what we get. We get a much bigger answer. Okay. Because now we're like, this was actually negative. Okay. Now it's not. Now we've got a positive area because we're adding up all the area as positive. Okay, so ooh, that's pretty big. Let's make that a little more reasonable, like that. Okay, and then this is going to be total or gross area. Oops. There it is for your notes. Okay, everybody see that? See how that works? Okay, good. All right, so that one we can put to rest. I'm just going to delete that, and we got it. Okay. Okay, if you want to bust out your TI-84s while we're doing this, go for it. Very simple. Okay, so I'll clear everything. So on the TI-84, there's two ways you can do this. You can do this non-graphically by just hitting the math menu and going down until you see FNINT. Okay, so that's, I think that must stand for function integral, I'm guessing, probably, or finite integral, one of the two, probably function integral. So choose that option. And then all you're doing is filling in blanks, right? So if I want to find the area from -2 to 3 of this function, I just have to put whatever f of x is in that slot right there, which is for the integrand. So that would just be, remember, I have to use the x button. X times quantity x plus 2, close that quantity, times the quantity x minus 3. Hello, Mr. Morioka. Good. You might want to weigh in on this a little bit. And then we'll scoot over to the right, and I just have to provide the variable of integration. And now if I hit enter, look what it does. Amazing. Okay. And I can go back if I want to turn that answer. I believe if I want to turn that into a fraction, I can just hit 1. It'll take the previous answer and convert it into a fraction. Amazing. Okay, so that's how you do a definite integral. That's calculating net area. Let's get a picture of that. If I want to calculate the total area or the gross area, all we'd have to do is go back and add some, we have to split this thing up and add some absolute value bars. So on your calculator, this is kind of a cool feature. I can go, if I want to start with something I've already created, I can go up to this previous expression and just hit enter and it grabs it. And then I'm going to go over to the left and I have to do insert. So I have to change the cursor from an overwrite cursor. I hit second, insert, and now I can add absolute value bars. And the easiest way to do that, I believe there's a shortcut, there's an alpha shortcut, or I can go to the math menu. If I go alpha F1, nope, F2, yes, there it is, alpha F2, and I get absolute value. So I'm just going to choose that one. And then I want to take this whole thing. Oh man, how am I going to do this? So then I kind of screwed up here a little bit.
Don't feel the pressure of me being in the room.
That's what it is. There's no doubt about it. I'm definitely feeling
Just be yourself.
I want to really impress Mr. Morioka here, and I'm starting to just really feel the pressure. But okay, so I'm just going to delete all this stuff here. Maybe. Now, what the heck? Okay.
How long have you been using the TI-84 model?
we don't use it very often, do we? There. So you just go to the integral and delete the whole thing. So then what we'll do is we'll go back over to here, and now we have to go up and we'll cut and paste. We'll just grab that whole thing and hit enter, and it puts it inside, right? And then I would just have to go over and change my limits. So my limits would have gone from -2 to 0. Thank you. So I'm just going to go back then. If you hit second left, it takes you all the way over, which is kind of a good little shortcut. So I'm going to make that a 0. And then I would just have to kind of do this whole thing again, right? So hit second right to get all the way over, plus absolute value. So that's just alpha F2, enter. Go up and grab. Can I do this, I wonder? Ooh, this could be tricky. Maybe not. Okay, I do have to go up and grab it from above rather than write the whole thing out. Okay, so I got to put myself inside the absolute value bars. Now I go up, grab that thing, and then I just have to go change the limits from 0 to 3. Yep, exactly. So 0, not -0, just 0 to 3. And we should be good. If I hit enter, there it is. Let's convert that to a fraction. There it is. Okay. I wonder if I can. You can't see the whole thing on the screen, but you get the idea. Plus, it's on video now. There it is. Okay. Back to work. I'll clean up the notes. How about it?